And welcome to tonight's game. Friday night in Queenstown here, we have the SkyCity Stampede versus the West Auckland Admirals. My name's Joel LeBreton. I'll be doing the commentary tonight, a solo unfortunately, but yeah, looking forward to it. We've got ourselves a great game here. A lot of these guys were just recently playing on the same team with the Ice Blacks campaign down in Dunedin for the IIHF Div 2B World Championships, bringing home a bronze medal. But there'll be none of that camaraderie tonight with what's set to be an exciting matchup for this time of this part of the beginning of the season. All right. So we're just counting down here now. We've got about 45 seconds until we get this game underway here. Looking at the starting lineup tonight for SkyCity Stampede, we have number 39, Aston Brooks in net. Number 28, Jet McCullum, making his debut back with the Stampede for the first time this season. On defense, number 16, Mitchell Freer. On right wing, number 95, Nolan Ross. Centering, number 91, Colin McIntosh. And on the left wing, number 24, Lachlan Freer. For the West Auckland Admirals team tonight, we have number 34, Chubba Margosh, starting in net. Number 47, Justin Daigle on defense. Number 2, Taylor Kennedy on defense. Right wing, number 28, we have Scott Henry, sorry. Number 42 centering, we have Alexander Regan. And number 13 on the left wing there, Andrew Hart. A lot of names I recognise from the West Auckland Admirals here who were instrumental in the Ice Blacks bringing home that bronze medal, as well as a lot of the SkyCity Stampede players here on the ice tonight. But as I said, the team camaraderie is over now. It's back to versus mode. We'll take this opportunity to thank some of the sponsors who, without them, none of this happens here. We have the Queenstown Ice Arena, of course, the Cook Brothers Construction, SkyCity, of course, being the naming sponsor. It looks like we're about to get underway here, so we will name some more of those sponsors later. It's going to be good having Jet McCullum back in the Stampede lineup. Last year he was instrumental on defense there for the Stampede's championship run. And there'll be a lot of opposition teams out there that are very upset that he's back again this year. But that's okay. All right, here we go. Reagan and McIntosh lining up on the center dot. And we're away. Reagan wins the draw. Pass back to Ross, who dumps it in. Daigle chases it down the corner with Freer. Daigle chips it around to Kennedy, who gets beat by McCullum. Tips it across to McIntosh. McIntosh out in front, picked up by Daigle there under control. Sends it out, almost picked up there by Hart. No, he wins the race. Into the corner, Hart there, looking for someone to dish it out to. And it's picked up by Freer. Elects to just take a little time. Oh, dog by Hart there, who makes a great play. Pops it up to C-Mac, who gets robbed by by Henry there. Freer elects to dump it in. SkyCity will go for a change, and Admirals will do the same. Pass up Admirals there. Oh, high stick's waved. No, high stick has been called there from Devlin, just reaching up there and grabbing out of the air. Vesper and Devlin on the dot here to take this face off. And one handley by Vesper. back through the neutral zone, picked off by Chalice. Devlin can't quite control it there. It's Kennedy taking it through the middle there. Wheels it around behind the net. Broken up there by Amston. Dishes up to through the neutral zone there. Well controlled by Admirals here. You take the time, go for a bit of escape. Mawson there gets a shot on net from Mawson from far out, and Burns through the middle here. Gets a shot away, handled easily by Margosh, and McCallum comes outside the blue line there and takes it offside. Both teams here just kind of feeling each other out in this first couple of minutes of the game here. Yeah. All right, back to Freya. Oh, loses control of it, and Stephen going to get a great opportunity here. Brooksy just gobbles that one up, but we're going to see a West Auckland Admirals face-off in the Stampede zone on the left dot here. Oh, tied up against the boards there. Brought out by West Auckland. Great job to get that back down to Rooney, but collected by Freo, who's going to wheel it around to Campbell. He's going to take his time. Great dish through the middle there, back to Freya. And Roby, Rusky Jones into the corner, picks that up. Back out to the point. Back down to Roby, cross through the middle. Couldn't quite get a hold of that. Henry did a great job, great stick there to pick that up. West Auckland on the march out through the neutral zone and elects to chip it in. Chased in by Henry. Just can't quite win the race there. McCallum back to Amston, back to McCallum. Through the centre, back to Ross. Freya streaking through the right side here. Dangerous opportunity by Ross. Great shot by McIntosh. Margosh is up to the job though. Oh, we have McIntosh on the Wanaka Beer Works face-off dot here. And won by McIntosh. Great shot by Freya there. Charbosh gets a pad down to save it though. We have Henry marching up the zone. Reagan with a shot. Oh, very, very good shot there. Great chase up by Henry. There's a bit of an early whistle, unfortunately. Oh, sorry, that's Hart down there in the corner. My bad. Great secondary shot by Hart there. But an early whistle, unfortunately, as Brooks did not have it under control. No, Reagan on the face-off dot here against McIntosh. Amston can't quite control it. Freya's got the opportunity here. Sees Ross. Ross across the blue line. Oh, just couldn't quite keep it in there. Ross back in. He's got McIntosh through the middle. Ross dodged by Kennedy in the corner there and Regan. Ross comes out with it. Back to McIntosh behind the net. Ross through the middle. Couldn't quite send it home. Great save by Margosh there. And, oh, great glove by Chubba. But it's, it's spilled out. I thought he had that in his glove, but I think everyone thought he had that in his glove. But it's rebounded to the back there. All right, we're going to get a line change here from Stampede. Devlin, Burns, and oh, that's interesting. Burns up on the right wing. It's not often you see that, jumping up forward. Mawson with a great pass there up to Quinn. Quinn tries to walk around Freya, gets a great move on him, pass through the middle, and a great shot that's just gone through the legs of Aston Brooks there. Quinn with an extremely sharp angle, and looks like he's just kind of bounced it off that inside pad of Brooksy, who wasn't expecting a shot there, was maybe expecting a pass. But that's going to make it 1-0 for the West Auckland Admirals here tonight. All right, we have Vespa and Devlin here on the face-off dot. Oh, McCallum trying to push through. Oh, got Mawson here on the back end. Tries to slot it through the middle. It's picked off by Stampede. Chalice battling for it through the middle there. Long stretch pass to Quinn, who elects to dump it in and get a change. Free to pick up in the corner. Wheels it around behind the net to McCallum. Dishes it up to Devlin. Cross to Chalice. Cross to Burns. Burns dumps it in. Collected in the corner by Chalice. Big hit by Mawson there. Up to Stephen, who... Oh, great work there by Clark on defense to get to break that pass up. Roby here up the wing and kept in by McLeish. Back to McCallum, who's going to choose to just settle it down while Stampede make a change, as well as West Auckland here. Oh, tough bump pass there that's picked off through the middle by Quigley. Roby dished out, kept in the zone again by West Auckland. Roby here, Rusky Jones, and Clark's going to step up here and dump it in round the corner. Rusky Jones chasing the corner, but wheeled out, and that looks like it's going to go for an icing. All right, we've got Stampede making a change here. Obviously, the West Auckland Admirals cannot after the icing. And Stampede have put their top line out here to see if they can make something happen with some tight Auckland legs. McLeish behind the net to pick up. He's going to take his time, look up through the middle. Oh, picked off by Freer at the point. Through to McIntosh, can't quite collect it. Henry wheels it back behind the net to McLeish. Up to the point. Oh, blown through there. That's a great heads-up play to Henry. Great heads-up play by Quigley there to Henry. Henry gets a shot away. Ashton Brooks says no. Another shot from the point. Bounced out to McIntosh, who's got Daigle to beat here. Ross streaming through the centre. Daigle robs McIntosh. Decides to march it back up ice. Great shot away there. McIntosh to collect. Hart on along the boards. Back to Amston. Cross to Clark. Clark through to McIntosh. Not going to go for an icing to be picked up. Long stretch pass there to Reagan. He's going to have a look through the middle, but broken up play. He still collects it though. Hartford down there on D, mixing up in the corner with Quinn. Cross to Amston, who wheels it up to Chalice and gets it out of the zone. West Auckland coming through again with stretch pass to Daigle, who gets a great shot away. Brooksy deflects that up, not quite high enough for a whistle. Back to point. He's going to march it in, have a shot. Another great shot, just gloved away by Brooksy there. Daigle soaks up a hit from Devlin along the boards there. As I said before, teammates not but a week ago. Daigle's going to collect back to Kennedy there. He's going to slow it down. Round to Hayward Jones. Devlin, a little bit of pressure on. Chalice with a bit of pressure on. Again, two teammates from the Ice Blacks last week. Hayward Jones marching it through the middle here. They've got numbers. There's a great little shot from point. Quigley with a secondary shot there. Dangerous bounce in front. Corralled by Stampede. Mawson on the point with another slap shot there. 43 wheels it around behind the net. Up to Hayward Jones on the point. Block it away by Brooksy there. Hayward Jones keeps it in the zone. Stampede battling here, trying to get it out. Another opportunity, keeping in the zone. West Auckland Admirals doing a great job here, just containing and cycling it within the Stampede zone. And Devlin's going to elect to take a little bit of time. Pass back to McCallum, who's going to give the Stampede an opportunity to get a change here. Campbell trying to walk it up the left side, gets hit for his troubles. Wheeled it back around behind the net to Mawson. Mawson looks up through the middle there, number 43. Comes across the blue, takes a great hit there by McCallum. Separates him from the puck. Campbell, cross to Taylor. Taylor, cross to Freer. Freer to McIntosh. McIntosh to Ross. Ross back to Taylor on the point. He's going to lob it in. Block a save there by Chubba. Oh, dangerous little pop puck out in front. Back to McIntosh. He's going to wheel it round back behind. Got Taylor there on the boards. Soaks up hit number 43. Mawson in there as well, trying to dig it out of the boards. Freya there as well. Back to the point. And Chalice is going to get a shot away here. No, sorry, that's Ross. Wheel back behind to McIntosh here. McIntosh gives it up to Kennedy, who again just gets the opportunity, takes the opportunity to start moving it out. West Auckland's going to elect to get a change here. Rooney picks it up through the neutral zone, straight back to True, who loses it after being dogged heavily by Rooney. Rooney back to Taylor. Taylor passes it through. Ross chips it into the zone. Kennedy's going to pull around and collect it by the net here. Long stretch pass that hasn't been touched and is going to go for icing. So I want to say a big shout out to everyone out there watching tonight. Hope you're enjoying this game. It's going to be a nice close one by the looks of it. Freya with a shot from the point. Deflected away in front of the net. Daigle behind net here. It's just going to take his time. Pass it up. Stephen is going to collect it on the blue. Great job by Burns there to keep it in. Freya just came back over the line, unfortunately. Burns there reverting back to his defensive mindset. Patrolling that blue line as he is so well known to do. Devlin with the face off here. Loses it quickly. It's just going to float back down to Aston Brooks here. Picked up by McCullum. Going to skate around, look for an opportunity. Marched up the ice here. Quinn tries to hit him against the boards. Does a great job separating him from the puck, actually. And we've got Freya, who's just going to lob it in here. And that's going to go for an icing, unfortunately. Devlin wasn't able to collect that one. All right, we have Devlin Vesper here on the dot. Won by Vesper, back to the point. Kennedy with a tip in front by Quinn there. Great job by Brooks here to see that one coming. Oh, big elbow from Mawson there to the face of Burns. Burns is going to pick it up around behind the net here. Walk it up to Chalice. Back to Burns. Back to McCullum, who, looking for the stretch pass through the middle, but gets picked off by Hayward Jones. Freya one-on-one with Mawson here. He has, taken down by Mawson. Round to Quinn. Quinn's going to clear it out back to this neutral zone with Robbie here. Back to Amston on defense. Just going to take behind the net here. Robbie pick it up. Back to Amston. Back to Clark. And McLeish picks it off through the middle there. Oh, sorry, it's not Clark, it's Harford. And then Campbell just going to elect to wheel that one around the boards. Big hit on McLeish there by Robbie. Rusky Jones dogging Henry there. McLeish back through neutral. Cross to his D partner. He's dishing it through the middle there. Henry's picked that off. Great opportunity. Just goes a little bit wide. Hart round in the corner there. Amston picks that one off. McLeish on the point. Back down to Reagan. Reagan's going to bring it back around the goal here. Legs for a wraparound pass, which slides through the crease there. And then back to neutral, back through, down McLeish is going to pick it up in his own zone. Big long stretch pass there to Reagan, who chips it across. Unfortunately, no one was quite able to get there. Kennedy across to Daigle. Daigle back to Kennedy. Stampede electing just to sit through this neutral zone here. Daigle's going to slow it down, give everyone an opportunity to march it back up the ice here. Daigle, great little pass to Quinn. Quinn's going to get it across the blue line here. Got number 43 through the slot. loses it behind the net there to Taylor. Oh, great little pass through the middle there to Ross. High stick. Okay, yep, sorry. There must have been a high stick through the middle there somewhere. All right, 7 minutes left in this first period with West Auckland Admirals leading the SkyCity Stampede 1-0. Vesper on the draw here against Colin McIntosh. I'm not happy with that face-off. We're going to go again here with Adam Nagy. Freer chipped that up through the middle, picked off by Hayward Jones. Oh, it almost gets picked off by Ross there. Mawson passing it up, and that's going to be offside. Vesper just jumping the gun slightly there. All right, we have Vesper versus Devlin on this face-off draw here. Chip back to Hayward Jones, who sends it out of bounds. Out of bounds. All right, we're going to take a face-off from the centre dot here. Again, Vesper v Devlin. Devlin with a slight advantage there. Freer across to McCallum. McCallum's going to come up through the point. Like to dump it into the corner there. Devlin's going to chase it down. Mawson loses his footing. Devlin through to McCallum. McCallum shot blocked by Vesper. Back to Burns. Burns to McCallum. McCallum back to Burns. Burns across to Chalice, who behind the net to Devlin. Devlin with control here. Likes to drop it back to McCallum. A little bit too deep there, unfortunately. Mawson gets the opportunity up to Quinn. Unfortunately, a bit too much pepper on that, and Freer is able to rally that. Jet through the middle here. Golf by McLeish. Great pass to the slot. Quickly to break that one up. McLeish and Robbie in the corner here. McLeish wins, wheels it back around to Rooney, who pops it through to Stephen. Stephen 1-on-3. Quigley there to help him now as well. And Amston elects just to dish that one out. Little shot in on net there. Corralled by Brooksy. We'll wheel that around to Harford. Harford up to Robbie. Rusty Jones through the middle here. Picked off by McLeish. Dog by Rusky Jones again. Henry picks that one up, bounces it off Robbie. Robbie elects to dump it back in. Chuba will collect that behind the net. Back across to McLeish. Stretch pass through the middle to Reagan. Just can't quite get that one. True through the middle to Rusky Jones. Cross to Freer. Freer's going to have a shot and slip it straight through the 5-hole on Chuba there. That's a magnificent goal. There's an absolutely great little quick shot there from Lachlan Freer. And with that goal, that brings the score to 1 apiece. Daigle here with the puck, pass it through the neutral, and that's going to go for an icing by the looks of it. A little sneaky one, just kind of avoided everyone through the middle there. All right, we'll have a Stampede face-off in the West Auckland Admirals zone here on the Wanaka Beer Works face-off circle. McIntosh on the draw with Reagan. Reagan with a win, back to Daigle, elects to bring it behind the net, and with patience, looking for some options and letting the West Auckland Admirals set themselves up here for a run. Oh, Henry unfortunately spilled that one out. Freer can't quite control it through neutral there. Clark behind the net with Reagan. Up to Freer. Can't quite get picked up by McIntosh. Back through the middle there to Henry. Shot behind net. Through the middle to McIntosh. McIntosh up to Ross. Ross tries to dance through Hart, who closes him down. Reagan elects to clear it out. It's not going to quite have the legs for icing, so Jet McCullum is going to pick that one up and skate it through. Big hit on Moses there through open ice. Daigle back to McCullum, who just picks it straight off. C-Mac, across to Burns, who can't quite pick it up there. And we have a interference penalty. That's an interference penalty on number 21, Moses. So we're going to get a look at the SkyCity Stampede power play here for the first time tonight, as well as the West Auckland Admirals penalty kill. One by Ross there, back to McCullum. McCullum down to McIntosh. McCullum to Chalice. Back to McCullum on point, cross to McIntosh. McIntosh taking his time here. Back to McCullum. McCullum through the middle to Ross. Ross sending it wide. Freer in front of the net. Can't quite collect that, and that's going to be sent down the other end to Brooksy. McCullum to pick it up behind the net here. McCullum to McIntosh. Takes it into the zone. Shot from McIntosh. High and wide. Collected by Chalice on the point. Back round to McIntosh. Going to take a little shot off the side post there. McIntosh plastered by Hayward Jones. Back up to Jet McCullum. He's going to walk along the blue line here. Cross to Chalice. Chalice down into the corner. Wheels back behind the net to McIntosh, who's going to protect that puck. Walk through the slot here. Have a shot. And two great saves there by Margosh, by Chubba, who made the first and the second save. One time by McIntosh from the corner. McCullum keeps that in after a clearing attempt by West Auckland. McCullum sticking with it through the slot here. It's quite a little shot through to Ross. Ross up to Chalice. Chalice across to McCullum. McCullum down to McIntosh. McIntosh to Chalice with a one-time attempt. It was closed down by Chubba. Chalice round to Freer. Freer to McIntosh. McIntosh behind the net here. Dishes out to Chalice. Shot from Chalice. Glove down by Chubba. Wow, the Stampede did a great job there of just really cycling it through their zone. Keeping possession, getting a lot of great opportunities. But Chubba was up to the task. Made some great key saves there on some very dangerous opportunities. Great job from West Auckland on defense. We have 5 seconds left on this penalty. Amston out there wheeling it back around behind the net. And we have Rooney out and back to full strength. Rooney back to Kennedy. Kennedy dumps it back to Amston. Amston through middle there, tapped by Burns, so won't go for icing. Devlin chasing Kennedy down at the corner. Daigle in the corner there, up to Rooney. Can't quite control it. Burns picks it up, goes through to Stephen. Stephen gets a shot away, blocked by Amston there. Freer up to Devlin. Daigle wins that one. Toe drag through Freer. Can't quite keep control though. Stephen to dump it in and get a change. Amston picking up behind the net, round to Freer. Going to wheel it up to Freer. Back down to Freer. Across to Amston, who's going to leave that for Ross. Ross to Amston. Heavily dogged there by Henry. He's doing a great job forechecking. Ross to Amston, across to Freer, across to Ross. It's got Freer through the middle, McIntosh in the corner, Freer on the point. Great little shot there, blocked away. Freer to pick it up, and that's going to go over the boards and into the netting. All right, we have 4.6 seconds left in this period of what's been an even contest so far with SkyCity Stampede and West Auckland Admirals. A lot of back and forth between both teams, a lot of good opportunities so far. And that is the end of our first period with SkyCity Stampede 1 and West Auckland Admirals 1. Big thank you for joining us here for the first period. We're going to take a slight break, and we will see you back for the second period in approximately 20 minutes or 15 minutes. Thank you. All right, welcome back to second period. Seem to have a slight issue with the camera, but it should be fixed momentarily. Ross dumped it in, Daigle to pick up behind the net. Ross and Daigle still battling behind the net. Out to McIntosh, who picks it up. Back to centre. Freer to Freer. And that's going to go for an icing. All right, we have a face-off in the SkyCity Stampede and Reagan versus McIntosh on the dot. Reagan, shot, blocked there. Pass back out to Ross. Ross with a shot high and wide. Chip back in by Freer, back behind the net, back round to Ross. Out to McCallum on point, who can't quite keep it in the zone. Dog by Hart. McCallum with the puck in the Stampede zone. Across to Freer, through to Freer, and again, that's going to go for an icing. Missing the passes through the middle here. Going to have another face-off here in the Stampede zone. Vesper and McIntosh still out there. West Auckland taking the opportunity to get a late line change. Back to Howard Jones. Mawson keeping it in, down to Vesper, picked off by McIntosh, who's going to get it through the central zone here. McCallum across the blue line, cross to Ross, who gets a shot opportunity that's gloved down by Chubba. Face off in the West Auckland Admirals zone. Devlin versus Vesper. Vesper, Devlin back to True. True with a shot through, blocked by Mawson. Mawson up to Quinn, who tips it through. Picked up by Ashton in the back. Mawson with a shot on net. Blocked by Clark. Clark wheeling it around. Picked off on by Quinn. Back to Vesper. A shot in front. Gloved down by Quinn. Oh, good hit there. Quinn along the boards, dogged by two Stampede. Gets a pass out to Mawson, who takes a shot. Clark and Quinn in front of the net. Good shot by Quinn, right in front of the traffic there. Vesper behind the net. Clark comes away with it. And pass out of the zone to Devlin, who evades a hit through the middle from Mawson there. Can't control it. Back to Stephen. Round to Hayward Jones. Back to Hayward Jones from Mawson. Hayward Jones skating it out up to Stephen. Cross to Rooney. Can't quite control it. Picked up and wheeled around there by Campbell. Stephen to dump it back in. Clear the zone. Stephen through the middle. Axel Rusky Jones with a shot. Can't quite control it. McCallum puts it back in. Picked up behind the net there by Hart. Another shot in on net by McCallum. Puck through neutral, back to McCallum. Then take the opportunity to just dump it in the zone. Chased by Kennedy behind the net. Picked up by Rooney along the right wing here. He's going to take the opportunity to dump it in on net. Little blocker away by Aston Brooks. And Jet McCallum through the middle here. Slowed down by Daigle and McLeish. Daigle to collect behind the net. Little bump pass picked off by Ross. Closed down again by Daigle. Through the middle to Hart. Hart's got an opportunity here. Goes wide to Daigle. Oh, Daigle just can't quite collect that and get the shot away. Another chipped in pass by Henry. Does well to keep it within the zone. Picked up by Freer behind the net. Looks for a long stretch pass to Freer. Bumped off to Ross. Gets hit by Daigle along the boards. Kennedy wheels it around to McIntosh. Whiffs on the pass. McIntosh back to McIntosh. Take the opportunity. True can't quite keep it in the zone. It's going to be chased down here by Hartford. Back to True, whiffs on the pass as well. Little shot away there by Henry. It's going to be picked up by Quinn, who rims it around back to Henry. And Aston Brooks gloves that one down to give everyone an opportunity to change. We have Vesper and Devlin here on the dot. Wins it back to Hayward Jones. Elects to take a shot. Great shot. Patted away by Brooks there. Burns can't quite control it. McCallum picks it up, takes it behind the net. With Schernitz, number 43, taking opportunity there to try and rile up McCallum. Devlin's cutting through the middle zone here. Can't quite control it. Burns to hit Mawson. Mawson comes away with it here. Big hit from Mawson on Devlin on Mawson along the blue line there. Mawson has to skate off because he loses his helmet. He looks fine down there though, so that's good to see. We have Quigley and Devlin here on the dot. Devlin with a win, back to McCallum. Takes the opportunity down to Chalice, can't quite control it. Passes up to Rooney, who gets behind McCallum here. He's going to take it round behind the net. Nice little pass in front. Can't be controlled though. And we have a penalty coming here. It's a slash on number 22, Jordan Chalice, by the looks of it. Yep, that is number 22, Jordan Chalice, for slashing. We're going to see the West Auckland Admirals on their power play here. Vesper take the draw. Daigle and Regan on the back end. Mawson and Stephen. Daigle from the point. Takes the opportunity around to Stephen. Back to Daigle. Through the middle. Mawson in front there. Cleared out by Stampede defense. Whiffs on the shot, wheels it back around, and Daigle is not going to be able to keep that within the zone. Daigle around behind Admiral's net, streaking up the ice here. Makes it into the zone, gets a shot away and snipes it top right corner on Brooks. Justin Daigle, captain of the West Auckland Admirals, taking it upon himself there to do a lap of the rink, walk into the Stampede zone and snipe it top shelf, unassisted. Oh, face off on the dot here with Reagan and McIntosh. McIntosh with the draw, Daigle across to Hart. Hart dumps it into the corner for Freer and Reagan to contest. Freer comes out with it. Wheeled back in behind the net. McCallum to collect up to Reagan. Rubbed out against boards by Reagan. Reagan, nice pass in front to Henry. Henry elects to dish it back across. It's picked up by McCallum. McCallum up to Ross. Through the middle to Freer. Freer elects to wheel it around behind the net here. Picked off by Ross. Ross through to the middle, out to McCallum. Blocked through the centre there. Picked up back by McCallum here. McCallum taking the opportunity to create some space. Freer taps it into the zone and gets a change. Big long pass around here to Hart. Hart's going to put it through the neutral. Picked off by Burns through the middle, who can't walk through four Admirals players. Ross elects to dump it into the zone. Daigle from behind the net. Huge stretch pass up there. Great shot opportunity there by Hart and gets marched back the other way. Mawson beats Burns to the puck. Back to Schernitz. Schernitz up to Vesper. He's got one to beat with True here. Vesper takes it wide. passes it straight back to Devlin, who flips it through the middle but out of the zone. Hayward-Jones dumps it back in to True. Schernitz picks it up on the wing, back to Mawson. Mawson up to Vesper. Vesper across to Quinn. Can't quite hit Quinn through the neutral. There's going to be no icing there. Big hit behind the net there from Hartford. Devlin. Source pass across to Devlin. Great job by Chuba there to close that one down. Hayward-Jones behind the net. Passes up. McCallum closes that one off and dumps it back into the zone. Gives Stampede an opportunity to change. Mawson. Long stretch pass that will go for icing. I'll just take this opportunity to thank some more of our sponsors. LBRP Consulting, Octa Project Management, WT Partnerships, iBuild, Carter's, Queenstown Health, Queenstown Ice Hockey Club, SkyCity and Cook Brothers Construction. Rusky Jones with a face-off win. Back to McCallum on the point. Oh, does a great job there to keep it in after almost getting robbed by Rooney. Rooney along the boards. Soaks up a hit there by Campbell. Still gets the pass away up to Quinn. Quinn can't be pushed off the pass by Freer there. Rusky Jones soaks up a hit. Quigley. McCallum clears it out through the zone. Robbie is sneakily hiding there. Campbell and Quigley. Yeah, Kennedy down on the ice here. Fortunately, didn't see what happened. See if the refs have anything to say about it. I'm not sure what happened there. Sorry, guys. He's got up to his feet here, unassisted, and it's going to skate. He's going to skate to the bench too. That's number 8, Mason Kennedy. All right, Daigle here behind the net, picks it up. Going to elect to wait. March it up through the middle. Pass it over to Henry. Great shot, great block there as well. Yeah, McIntosh coming up through the middle. It was Ross through the centre here. Glove down by Chuba. There's a great save there by Chuba. Regan and McIntosh on the draw here. Another great shot there. Closed down by Chuba. Another face-off on the left-hand side dot here with Regan versus McIntosh. Quick win by Regan there, through to Kennedy. Kennedy loses it to Devlin. Great one-time across from Amston there. Chuba has the opportunity to get the pad down, make the save. Regan through the middle there. Great shot by Henry. Steered away there by Brooks. McIntosh through the middle. Closed down by Daigle, collected by Mawson. Mawson back to Daigle, who's going to elect to slow things down here. Daigle out from behind the net, closely watched by Burns. Daigle's going to take another look. Little short pass through the middle there, closed down, picked up by Burns. Great first shot, cleared out in front of the net there. Henry up to Hart. It's not going to have the least for icing. Picked up by Harford. Chipped out by True. Picked up by True. True looking for options through the middle. Burns through the centre. Looking for Chalice. Oh, Chalice tries to tuck it home short side, but Chalice says no. Freer, great job, keep it in there. Vespa just getting it out through the central zone to Schernitz here. Schernitz, great shot, gobbled up by Brooksy there. A lot of back and forth between both teams here. West Auckland are not backing down with their 2-1 current lead over the SkyCity Stampede. They will be looking for another one right here to extend that. Vesper chasing the corner, picked up by Campbell on the side, chips it up to Rusky Jones. Rusky Jones up the left side. Can't quite control it. McLeish picks it up from behind the net. It's taken away by Robbie. Back to Rusky Jones. Rusky Jones elects to dump it in deep. McLeish to pick it up behind the net. Passes it through neutral ice there. Controlled by Campbell. He's going to elect to dish it across to Freer. Up to Robbie. Rusky Jones in on net. Pass blocked down by Kennedy. Rusky Jones and Kennedy behind the net here. McLeish is going to collect it out. Pass through the centre to Vespa. Vespa elects to send it into the zone. Get a change away. Ross on the right there. Robbie on the right. Rusky Jones. They dump it in, get a change. Hayward Jones passing it up through the middle here. Looking for Rooney on the right wing, but unfortunately just broken up there. Oh, loose puck in front. And Aston did a great job of shutting that down very quickly. It was a dangerous opportunity. After that shot, it looked like it bounced down right in front of him. He just couldn't quite tell where it was, but it was very, 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 very loose there for a while. Moses and McIntosh on the face-off dot here. Win by McIntosh over to Clark. Clark takes it behind the net. Tied up by Rooney. Across to True. McIntosh up the side. Shut down by 4 West Auckland players. Back to True. True to McIntosh. McIntosh takes it for a little bit of a skate through neutral here. Doesn't quite get a shot away. Pass back to True. He's going to get a slight shot in on net there. Wheel back behind around to Hayward Jones. Hayward Jones up to Stephen. Back to Hayward Jones up through neutral. Collected by Stephen. Shut down by True. True to McIntosh. McIntosh to Freer. Freer to Clark. Can't quite collect it. It's gone back through into defensive zone to Daigle. Back to Hayward Jones, who's going to elect to give everyone an opportunity to change. Hayward Jones taking it himself, gets around Clark and goes for a change. True behind the net. Just going to rim it round here to Freer. That's the icing's going to be called off. We have Regan who's going to collect it here behind the net. Through the middle, back to Regan. Then back to Devlin. Mawson, Regan on the right here. It's going to be just chipped in by True there. Mawson takes behind the net to collect. Pass up there, back to McLeish. Can't quite control it. Burns has the opportunity here. Tries to pass it down low to Chalice, who's going to put it back in front. Great opportunity, but Devlin just couldn't get that shot away, and it's closed down by Margosh, or Chuba. West Auckland Admirals through the middle here. Quinn eluding Freer. Can't muscle him off the puck. Chernitz back to Daigle. Daigle wheeling around behind the net here. Burns chipping it out. Chalice along the boards. Can't quite collect it. Daigle picks it up back behind his own net again. Daigle looking up ice here. Daigle, another great job keeping it within the zone. Chernitz back to Daigle. Daigle, Vesper. McCallum to pick it up behind the net. Rusky Jones. Long stretch pass over to Campbell. Oh, tough bounce off the boards there. Vesper collects through neutral. There's Rooney with him. Elects to dump it in. McCallum behind the Stampede net. Going to take his time. Let everyone get a change here. Long stretch shot onto Chuba. Picked up by Daigle, Mawson. Kept in by Freer. Gets the shot away. Quigley up the right wing. McCullum collects. Rooney through the neutral here. He's going to skate into the zone. Little backhand shot behind the net there. McCallum running into a bit of trouble trying to clear it out of the zone. Again, McCallum collects. Cross to Freer. Freer quickly closing in on Freer and McCallum here. Rooney with a big hit on Robbie off the play there. It looks like he's going to go to the box for that. Not quite sure what the call is. Interference, perhaps. All right, with West Auckland Admirals going on to the penalty kill, SkyCity Stampede going on to the power play. We have Ross on the dot here, wins it out to McIntosh, cross to McCallum. McCallum's going to walk it across to Chalice. Cross to McIntosh, can't quite collect the pass. McIntosh taking his time, tap down in front, and Chuba gloves that one down to it's a good opportunity for the SkyCity Stampede, but it's also a great opportunity for the West Auckland Admirals here. McCallum pick up the puck on the blue. Ooh, slow little pass across to McIntosh, who manages to collect it. McIntosh cross to McCallum. McCallum, big shot on net. Loose puck under Chuba. And that is shut down by Chuba. Oh, Brooks elects to hold on to that puck. Great forecheck there by Stephen. McIntosh can't get around Vesper. Ross picks up the puck. Dishes across to Freer. Closed down by Daigle. McCallum picking up the puck again. Cross to Chalice. Chalice throwing one in on net there. McIntosh picking up. Across to Chalice. Chalice and Daigle. And we have a high stick on West Auckland Admirals here. Number 2, Kennedy, high stick in 2 minutes. So we will have SkyCity Stampede 5v3. Win by Freer across to McCallum. McCallum across to Chalice. McCallum, Chalice, Chalice, McCallum. McCallum, Chalice, Chalice, Chalice with a shot. Great block there by Flynn Hayward-Jones to clear that out of the zone. Stampede regroup. McCallum marching through the middle here. Flynn Hayward-Jones. Round to Ross, Chalice, down to McIntosh, back to Chalice, across to Ross, one time, big save there by Chubba. Rooney out of the box, straight into the play, slams the brakes on, lets everyone else catch up there. Chalice across to Jet, Callum looking up ice, takes it in. Feeds it across to McIntosh. Can't quite get a shot away. Burns on the point now. Across to McCallum. Callum chips it in. Down to Freer. Freer behind the net here. And great job with Vespa just clearing that puck out. With the chase. A little forecheck there from Vespa. Burns behind the net. Up to Amston. Amston chips it into the zone. 21 seconds left in this power play. Freer picks up along the boards. Freer to Burns. Burns to Freer. One-time shot. Sliding pass, sliding save there by Chubba. Absolutely excellent effort there. All right, we have 10 seconds left in this power play / penalty kill, depending on which side of the fence you're on. Amston with the puck on the blue. Glove save by Chubba. Daigle would wheel it up behind the net. Amston chipping it in. Daigle gloving it down. Burns, we're back to full strength. Henry coming back onto the ice. And Chubba jumps on that loose puck to stop play. Oh, outstanding penalty kill there by the West Auckland Admirals. Spending 50 seconds on a 5-on-3, then a 5-on-4, and no goals from the Stampede. West Auckland Admirals still maintain their 2-1 lead over the SkyCity Stampede. We have McIntosh and Regan on the face-off. Regan with the win. Dumped in by Hartford. Chubba collects Daigle with the puck behind the net here. Dish it up to Regan. Regan walking in and across the blue line, heavily dogged by Freer here. Hits the brakes, passes it up to Daigle. Daigle has a look across to Henry. Henry with a shot. Traffic in front. And that's drawn a bit of a crowd with Hart, who's throwing a punch at Freer. Wow. That is, interesting. I'd say we're going to get 2 penalties here from both these players, I would say. Yeah, and Hart going to the box. And Freer going to the box. That's Mitchell Freer. Got the officiating staff here having a discussion, working out what is going to happen here. I'm just watching Daigle here. Potentially 4-on-4 from what I can gather. Yep, that's correct. It's going to be 4-on-4 hockey for the 2 minutes. And we have a double minor for the Stampede. So it'll be 4-on-4 hockey for 2 minutes and then 5-on-4 with a West Auckland Admirals advantage for the subsequent 2 minutes, I believe. Daigle with a great shot there, patted away by Brooks. Picked up by McCullum. Going to look for Ross straight through the middle here. Who's going to put it home for a beautiful goal. Beautiful stretch pass there from McCullum. Ross through the neutral zone, gets behind the defence, 1-2, freezes Chubba, puts it to the left side just below the blocker. So we continue to be 4-on-4 here. And after all that excitement, we forgot that it's actually the end of the period. So that is the end of the second period with SkyCity Stampede tying it up late in this second here to make the score West Auckland Admirals 2 to SkyCity Stampede 2. Thank you all for listening. We will be back after the break. I should say I'll be back after the break. All right, everyone, welcome back to the third period of this Friday night matchup between West Auckland Admirals and SkyCity Stampede in beautiful sunny/rainy Queenstown. We have ourselves a game at hand here. Current score is 2 to the West Auckland Admirals versus 2 to the SkyCity Stampede. Tied all up here in this third period. Going into this period, we also have subsequent offsetting penalties of Admirals with 1:44 left on their penalty kill. Stampede 3 minutes and 43 seconds left on their penalty kill, power play, however you want to say it. So we'll have 1:43 here of 4-on-4 hockey, which it will then turn to Admirals will pick up an extra player and go 5-on-4 against the Stampede for the subsequent last 2 minutes due to a double laner. McCallum picking up the puck here behind the net. Stephen forechecking in front, just watching what he's doing, making sure it's all kosher. McCallum taking his time out to True. True passes it up to Ross. Can't control it. McIntosh just lets that roll through. Mawson picking up behind the net, cross to Daigle. McIntosh on Daigle there. Daigle evades, takes his time. Gets a change there. Daigle with another shot on net. We know how well the last one he did came through. Ross here with the puck. Back to McIntosh. McIntosh into the zone. Tries to drag it around Mawson. Mawson closes that down and we have a puck out of play. Line change here from both teams. We have Kennedy, Henry and Hayward Jones out on the Hayward Jones to take the draw. No, sorry, Regan to take the draw on Devlin. Devlin loses it to Regan. Kennedy behind the net with the puck. Oh, Regan up to Henry. Henry at the feet of the official there. Back behind the net to Kennedy. Regan to pick up the puck behind the net. Marches it up ice through the neutral zone here. Taylor gets a shot away. Henry on the boards. Kennedy whiffs on the pass. Henry on point. Blocked by Devlin. Round behind the net. Chased into the corner here by... There's Harford. Oh, Harford coughs it up. Pass in front of the net there by West Auckland. West Auckland back out into the neutral zone. Henry over to Kennedy. Kennedy looking through the middle. Can't quite control it. Collision with Clark at centre ice. McCallum round behind the net. Up to Freer, who can't quite control that puck. It's going to go no icing, though. Mawson behind the West Auckland Admirals net. Back to Daigle. Daigle elects to take his time, march it up here. Cross to Regan. Regan into the zone. And that is offside. Now, slightly unfortunate. Everyone got a little bit too carried away there. All right, we're going to have Vesper here taking this draw against Callum Burns. Vesper with a win, back to Chubba, who's going to pass it across to Daigle. Daigle behind the net, coming up through the neutral zone here. Across to Vesper. Vesper taking into the zone. Put down hard by McCallum. Across to Regan. Still control here with Daigle taking a shot from the point there. McCallum behind the net. Out to Regan. Regan on point. Cross to Daigle. Daigle passes it down to Stephen. Stephen with a high angle shot. Regan can't control it and keep it in the zone here. Regan's going to take it and march it through. Out to Daigle on point. Bump pass back to Regan. Regan looking through the traffic there. Schernitz behind the net. Wheels around. Regan to pick it up on the boards. Chipping him back in behind to Mawson. And knocked out by Amston. 37 seconds left in this West Auckland Admirals power play. Daigle behind the net. Rusky Jones with a strong forecheck here. And, oh, he just can't quite control it behind the net. Passed up here to Henry. Henry's going to bring it into the zone, put the brakes on, wait for Hayward Jones. Hayward Jones who shot through traffic. Kennedy twirling through the centre there, can't quite control it. Chubba behind the net for Hayward Jones. Hayward Jones, chip up, pass. Great work there by Clark to control that. Freer sneaks in behind the defence. Has the opportunity here. He takes a hit against the boards for his troubles. McIntosh chips it out, but picked off by West Auckland there. Hart up the boards. Has it stolen by Ross, who passes up to McIntosh. Oh, great pass through the middle there by McLeish to Stephen. McIntosh through neutral, up to Ross. Ross drags it behind, tries to get around Daigle. McCallum, Daigle, McIntosh behind the net. Back to Freer. Freer wheels it up to McCallum. Ross picks it up. Round to McIntosh along the boards. McIntosh holding along the boards. McIntosh still with it. Dishes across to Freer. Dumps it in behind net, down to Freer. Pops it out in front. McIntosh with a shot out in front. Great save there by Chubba to close down a very dangerous opportunity from Calvin McIntosh after a little behind the back pass from behind the net from Freer. Devlin on the draw. Quick shot away from Burns. Chalice in front of the net. Traffic. Devlin can't quite collect it in front of the net. Another shot on net there by Clark. True across to Burns. Burns elects to dump it in. Hayward Jones. Dogged by Devlin. Devlin can't quite collect it. Hayward Jones comes up with it. Great pass to Quinn. Quinn walking on True. Great save by Brooks there. All right, we're going to have a penalty here. We'll just wait and see what the referee has to say here. It's going to be a penalty against the SkyCity Stampede for hooking on Dylan Devlin. Number 21, Dylan Devlin hooking. Right, we're going to see the West Auckland Admirals here on another power play. No, this is a great opportunity for the West Auckland Admirals here. They're going to need to convert it. Daigle on the point, across to Regan. Regan shot Mawson, hits Mawson in front. Oh, can't quite clear the zone. Comes out to Daigle on the point. Cross one time from Stephen. Round the boards to Regan. Regan steps in, gets a shot away, and that's gone up into the rafters. And we'll get a stoppage in play. This West Auckland Admirals power play is starting to click, you know. You see them moving it around. Daigle on the point, Regan on the left wing here. Stephen, Mawson, they're doing a great job cycling. That's won by SkyCity Stampede and cleared by McCallum. Chubba's going to just stop that from wheeling around the boards. Daigle to collect. Daigle coming up through neutral. Passed up to Vesper. Oh, can't quite keep it in the zone. Got Mawson and McIntosh here battling for the puck. Daigle picks it up behind the net. Freer does a great job of keeping it in. McIntosh keeping it in here. Oh, can't quite get the pass across to Freer. Vesper and Freer into the corner. Regan to pick it up behind the net. Regan marching it out through here neutral. He's got Mawson with him. And that's going to go offside. Mawson just stepped over the blue there prematurely. 53 seconds left on this SkyCity Stampede penalty kill or West Auckland Admirals power play, depending on which side of the fence you're on. That's cleared out by Ross, and Rusky Jones wins the foot race down behind the net, picked up by Hart. Still Rusky Jones, great pass by Hart up the boards there. Henry's going to go in and collect it. That's come back out to the point for Hayward Jones. Hayward Jones round to Hart. And, oh, great job by Hayward Jones there to glove that down and keep it in. But Ross has got the step on him here. Great shot, but a great save by Margosh. Rooney behind the net has dished it up through the centre to Quinn. Collected behind the net by Freya, and that is the end of the power play. And that's come off McLeish's foot and gone up into the netting. Yeah. Right, face off here. Devlin versus Vespa. And Devlin with a win. Rhea skating through into the Stampede zone behind the net. Quinn in front here. McCallum chipping it up to Burns, who's taken a great pass there. Can't quite hit Devlin in stride. McLeish dishing it up through neutral and it's come through to Quinn here. Quinn, West Auckland, tries to pass it out through the middle. Oh, Daigle on the blue. Great shot through traffic, goes a little high and wide. McLeish with another shot in through traffic. Stampede battling down in their own zone here. Great little turnaround shot from Quinn. Freya picks it up. Takes his time, gives Stampede a chance to change here. Chalice through the middle to McIntosh. Can't quite hit McIntosh in stride though. Mawson behind the net, marching up through neutral here. Chipped through to Henry, who can't quite collect it. Back to neutral to Regan. Oh, Regan almost gets a step there. Back to Hayward Jones in the West Auckland Admirals end. He's wheeled it back round to Mawson. Mawson looking up. C-Mac is there and dumped in on net. Harford with it behind the net, who sends it through the slot there. Great opportunity by Hayward Jones. Freya can't quite collect it. Takes a heavy hit into the boards there from Mawson. True chipping it up to Ross collecting it along the boards there. Back to McIntosh. McIntosh up to McCallum. And big block in front there to send that one up to the rafters and get a stoppage in play. Both teams elect to get a line change in here, get some fresh legs out. 10 minutes and 26 seconds left in this third period with the game tied at 2. Rusky Jones on the dot, loses to Quigley. Kennedy behind the net, wheels it around to Stephen. Big shot in from Freo. It's gloved down by Chubba. Great pass through neutral there to Quigley. Stephen's going to pick it up around the boards. Campbell, sends it out through the middle, but it's gone back to McCallum here behind the net, who's going to wheel around to Robbie. Takes a hit for his troubles. Gets the pass away to Rusky Jones. Daigle breaks that pass up. He's going to go for a skate up on the boards here. Daigle breaking in the zone. Comes out and sent back in. McCallum through the neutral. Gains the line. Walks through. Gets a shot away. Chubba gets the pad down to make an amazing save. Clark back to McCallum. Shut down by Kennedy. Clark. Vespa. Great job there to maintain his footing and try and make a play there. Yeah, Vespa with a great opportunity there to try and get that breakaway, but just closed down. And the net back on its moorings here. And we're going to get a face-off outside of the zone. Dylan Devlin and Vespa. Vespa with the win. McLeish with a shot on net. McLeish picking up for Admirals. Quinn back to Hayward Jones. Hayward Jones electing to skate it through neutral here. Gains the zone. Can't get around Chalice. Clark hitting Hayward Jones. Hayward Jones still gets the pass away behind the net. True. Keeping it in the zone. Moses with a good little turnaround shot there. And Brooks jumping on that puck and putting a stoppage to the Admirals' momentum there. You can see the intensity of this game is starting to ramp up from both ends again. You can see West Auckland are really starting to put the lumber in and get those opportunities, play a more physical game. McCallum behind the net. Hart wins the puck. Locked in by McIntosh. Up to Ross. Ross is going to skate it through, gain the line, get an opportunity, and another great save by Chuba there. Ross tries to go short side, and it just rings off Chuba's shoulder pad and up into the netting, so we get another stoppage in play. We have Reagan versus McIntosh. McIntosh with the draw. Oh, great little pickup there. Just can't quite control it. Hart can't quite get it through the neutral zone. Freer evades two checks. Tries to get a pass away, but shut down by Daigle, who wheels it around the boards here. Oh, Henry just missing that pass there to Regan. Regan and Henry both chasing it down. McIntosh with the puck, gains the zone and cleared out. Henry, just can't quite get the pass away to Regan there. Rusky Jones up to McCallum. McCallum streaking through the centre. McCallum with the puck still. Gets a shot away. Rusky Jones can't quite get a shot. McIntosh with the puck. Pushed off, can't quite walk through the Admirals players there. Mawson up to McLeish. McLeish through the centre. Gains the zone to True. True chips it through into neutral. Back to True. True looking to set something up here. True to Burns. Burns putting it through the middle to Devlin, who great little pass there. Devlin soaks up a hit along the boards from Quigley. Oh, straight out into the slot there. Traffic picked up by Moses, who can't quite get the pass through Devlin. Devlin through the middle here. Vespa. Oh, he's taken down by Quinn, and we're going to have a penalty here as Quinn, put his fist into the head of Devlin as he was going down there. So it's a penalty on number 41, Quinn, for holding. All right, Ross taking the draw here versus Hart. And they've cleared that out. Hart chasing it down behind the net with McCallum. Making a diving play there. Good tenacity from number 13, Hart. Up to McIntosh. McIntosh gains the line, gets a shot away. Chuba gets the pad down though to stop that opportunity. Minute 31 left in this power play. Ross gains his zone. Oh, Daigle almost gets robbed there. Oh, lot of traffic in front here. And we have a penalty on SkyCity Stampede, number 24. Lachlan Freer. For high sticking, I believe. All right, so we're going to have 4-on-4 for the next minute 15 and then 45 seconds of West Auckland Admirals power play. Stampede really need to strike here because they do not want to see West Auckland go on a power play. Vespa gains the zone, spins away from trouble. Great dish across to Mawson, who can't quite control it. Devlin, big hit on Mawson there. Separating from the park, McCallum coming through. Great little dish across to Devlin. He's got Rusky Jones with him. Devlin with a shot, and Chubba says no. All right, we're going to have a face-off in the West Auckland Admirals end with 40 seconds left in this power play, or penalty kill, depending on how you want to look at it. Yeah, Ross on the draw. Walks it through, gets a shot away, goes wide. True, off to Ross. Ross, cross to Burns. Can't quite get the one-timer. Wheels behind the net, picked off by Daigle. Daigle elects to take a little bit of time here, kill some of this clock off, skate it through neutral himself. He's going to take on 3 Stampede players by himself and gets the shot away. Good effort there by Daigle and good effort there by Brooks to shut that one down. We have 18 seconds left in the Stampede power play. 4-on-4, however you want to describe it, and then we'll be down to 40 seconds of West Auckland Admirals power play. True, cross to McIntosh. McIntosh gains the zone. He's got Daigle to beat. Can't get around Daigle. Mawson back to Daigle behind the net. And we are now on West Auckland power play. Regan gains the zone. Closed down by True. Chalice gets it out of the zone. Daigle picking up through neutral here. Circling back around. Daigle still at the puck. Leaves it for Regan. Regan through neutral. Regan gains the line. Oh, good job by Mawson there to keep it in. Across to Daigle. Back to Daigle. Shot away. Big block there by Devlin. Chalice with the puck. He's going to elect to take a little bit of extra time here. Evades a check from number 22, Vespa. Big stretch pass to C-Mac. Oh no, sorry, that's Freer. Freer to Freer, and that's gloved down by Chubba. So we're going to have a face-off here in the West Auckland Admirals zone, back at full strength. Both teams electing gear change here. Going to see the top lines come out again. We have 3 minutes 31 left in this tie game. McIntosh with the draw. Oh, jumps over the stick of Freer. Back to Freer. And that's going to go out of bounds into the bench. Yeah, McIntosh and Quigley here facing off on the dot. Just outside the West Auckland Admirals zone. C-Mac with a win. Oh, knocks it down from Kennedy there. But Hayward Jones closes the gap. Quigley through the middle. Little pass over to Rooney. Rooney hits the brakes. Stephen through the middle. A little bit of confusion on whose puck it was. C-Mac comes out through the middle with it. He's got Ross, and Ross sends it home. Beautiful pass there across from Colin McIntosh after some confusion in the West Auckland Admirals in the Stampede end. Little 1-2. Ross again decides to shoot for that that slightly high blocker side and makes this a 3-2 contest. I have 2 minutes and 55 seconds left in this barn burner of a game. SkyCity Stampede have just extended their lead 3-2 over the West Auckland Admirals. Burns doesn't quite control the puck. Hart coming in strong up the wing there. Wheels around behind the net, looking for a pass. Daigle decides to chip it back in. Regan behind the net. Burns picks it up. Robbie can't quite collect it. Back to Burns. He's going to wheel it back to Burns. Burns chips it up to Robbie. Robbie trying to beat Daigle, and Rusky Jones a little bit too keen, and that's going to be an offside. West Auckland Admirals taking this opportunity to get a line change going, and we're going to see the top line from the SkyCity Stampede come out here with McIntosh, Freer, Ross, and McCallum on the defence. Adam Nagy, Central Sports Official of the Year, waving Quinn and Freer back. Freer is going to let that one go, and it's going to go for an icing. All right, we're going to see a face-off here between Vesper and McIntosh on the Wanaka Beer Works face-off circle. And McIntosh with the win there. Back to Freer. He's going to chip it around the boards. McIntosh to collect. McIntosh and Daigle battling hard for that puck. Comes out for Freer. Oh, just a little shot wide. And Freer gets steered into the net there by McLeish. Daigle and Freer there. Freer dumps it back in. Picked up by McLeish, who's going to settle things down a little bit here. Dish across to Daigle. Daigle looking through the middle for the stretch pass to Quinn. Great stick there by McCallum to just knock the puck off Quinn's stick there. Cross to Moses. Gets a shot away, but it's gloved down by Brooksy there. Quinn behind the net, battling hard. Flynn Hayward-Jones. We have an empty net from the West Auckland Admirals here. Daigle collects behind the net. Daigle coming up through the ice. We have 1 minute left in this game. Chipped in by Mawson. Burns can't quite clear it out. Henry behind the net. Burns and Henry battling in the corner here. Come out to Moses, who sends it out, but can't quite hit the defenseman. All right, that one's going to go for icing. We have 40 seconds left in this Friday night contest. And we have a timeout. West Auckland Admirals here have called a timeout. Draw up a fancy play, no doubt, to try and capitalise on this opportunity of having Chuba pulled out of net. I would just take this opportunity to thank all the volunteers and sponsors around the league who, donate their time, money and effort to make nights like this possible. None of this happens without you, and we, collectively as a league, say thank you to you all. Oh, Vesper and McIntosh in the draw. Daigle back to Hayward Jones. Rims it around behind the net. Great shot away there. It's deflected by Brooks up into the roof. Oh, lots of chaos here in front of the net. Oh, can't quite get... Vesper just couldn't quite get to it there. Mawson just knocking that one out of the air. Very potentially saving a empty net goal. So well worth it. 20 seconds left here in this match tonight. We have Margosh coming back into net. McIntosh and Vesper. Vesper with a win. Round behind to Hayward Jones. Can't quite get it out. Vesper. McIntosh. Hart. Freer. Hayward Jones. 1 second left. And that's our game for this evening. A valiant effort by the West Auckland Admirals there, but unfortunately for all the fans watching in Auckland, it's going to be another SkyCity Stampede victory here tonight in Queenstown. Final score, West Auckland Admirals 2, SkyCity Stampede 3. Well, I think this is just going to set us up for another barn burner game tomorrow night. West Auckland Admirals are definitely be coming out hard out of the gate tomorrow. They smelt blood in the water with being a 3-2 loss, but by the finest of margins. All right, that'll be it from us tonight. Thank you, and don't forget to tune in tomorrow night at the same time, 7 p.m. puck drop, for the second game of West Auckland Admirals versus the SkyCity Stampede. Thank you and good night.